Hello everybody. Right, this is my first look at the Innsmouth Case. Apparently it's a sort of DP Lovecraft type thing, which I think is the same sort of, I'm going to say the same sort of art style as Bloodborne. Might be wrong. Know the name, not 100% sure. Settings. Oh, it's anyway, yeah. Don't know a great deal about it. Crime, spooky crime thing or something. Not a great deal. Oh shit, great deal on. Settings, what's that one? Trophies. Right. I haven't got any of them because I ain't got bugger all. I haven't done nothing yet. How do I get out of this? There we go. Right, let's start the game. Boston, MA, your office. Fans of the strange world of Innsmouth, we recognise the problematic beliefs of H.P. Lovecraft. Well, don't care about his beliefs. Not personal. Your progress in the story will be saved at the end of each chapter. 35 chapters in total. At the end of a chapter, the screen fades to black and a green save icon appears in the bottom right of the screen. We recommend you always end the game after such a save point to make sure none of your progress is lost. Right, so I'm probably not going to do much more than 50 minutes on this because I have got to go out. I've got a few things to do. So it's going to be I'll try to do as close to an hour as I can. But I'll see, when we get to the end of a chapter, I'll see what the time is. So it might be a shorter stream, but let's see. Boston, 21st September. The last rays of sunshine filter through the blinds of your empty office. The pathetic stench of whiskey, cold cigarette smoke, and canned ravioli fills the air. Screeching tyres and constant beeping of car horns out there on the street tell you it's gone 8 PM. People are on their way home, finishing their day. You should join them. If you decide stay at your desk or go home, you can go home. You breathe a deep sigh. It may not have been a successful day, but at least it's over. You were looking forward to a classic Friday night, watching old Mr. Series at home in sweatpants and getting drunk on cheap booze. Since the early afternoon, you have been staring at the foreboding bottle of liquor at the other end of the room. Until now, a vague sense of professionalism has kept you from drinking yourself into oblivion. Now nothing stands in the way. Suddenly you hear someone at the door. Right, who is it, or don't make a sound? Well, as I'm not, it's just a normal day, I'm not scared, I'm at my office, you would say, who is it, wouldn't you? You're not going to hide. Not until someone's tried to eat your head at least once. The door slowly cracks open with a timid creak. The unknown guest pauses, then in a breathy and melodic tone you hear a woman utter, "Hello?" Your insides cramp. You suddenly realise that you haven't cleaned your office at all this year. Quickly try to clean up and invite her in. I think things look worse if you quickly try and make it look like it's not a mess. It highlights the mess even more. Invite her in. By the light of the desk lamp, you now see more than a silhouette. A breathtaking woman lights up your office. No doubt older than 40, maybe even 50, hard to say. Clad in black, a skin-tight dress culminating in a décolleté that seems to defy the laws of gravity. A smoky eyeshadow as dark as algae washed ashore. Blonde, coiffed wavy hair under a dark beret. The faint light of the setting sun catches in the strands of her hair, and you wonder how many heads this woman must have turned during her prime. completely different from your usual customers, nervous bankers with sweat stains under their armpits, convince their wives have something going on with the mailman. Every move she makes is calculated grace. Smooth as an eel, she walks towards you and sits down at the corner of your desk. Determined, she walks towards you and sits down at the corner of your desk. You already said that once. Which is a little bold, which makes you blush. I don't blush easily. Which is a little bold. Without asking you first, but as a professional, you're not giving anything away. She seems to want to play the seductive damsel in distress. The quiet, amused voice of your subconscious is pleased that this stranger may be sharing your enthusiasm for film noir cliches. A far louder voice is surprised that this woman seems to think that a sexy pose and revealing clothes could win you over, and both voices agree they don't like being manipulated. You don't think that the stranger person on your table is trying to recover from a hard-working day as a lingerie model, and therefore see no logical reason for her behaviour. When she begins to speak, her voice is smoky and full of promise. My name is Dahlia Marsh. I'm looking for a private investigator. I was told you are one of the best. She extends a hand. Kiss her hand. You've come to the right place, lady, or decline. I ain't kissing her hand. You've come to the right place, lady. What can I do for you? Sit back in your chair and fold your hands over your stomach. The woman seems a little irritated that her provocative behaviour seems to have had no effect on you. She moves from the edge of the desk and sits down on the chair opposite you. Yes, she clears her throat. As she continues to speak, the smoky seductiveness creeps back into her voice. My name is Dahlia. I need help. Ask for more details or decline. I'm not going to say no till I know what it's all about, do I? So ask for more details. It's about my daughter Tabitha. She has disappeared. You're pulling out paper and pencil. This is going to be a walk in the park. A walk in the kidnapped kids park. Well, when did you last see her and where? The woman puts on a fake smile. We live in Innsmouth. It's a small port town, north of Arkham. You frown. This is a bit vague. What was your child doing when you last saw her? What hobbies does she have? Oh, you know, kid stuff. They just run around and play with their yo-yos, that sort of thing. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. Does your daughter have any friends? Yo-yos? What about her father? What does your daughter look like? Well, that would be a logical place to start. She's only 8 and the sweetest girl you can imagine. She's been missing without a trace since last week. None of her schoolmates have seen her and no one knows where she might have gone. She hands you a photo. Look, this is my little munchkin. Shouldn't be hard to find. Good heavens, is this supposed to be a joke? Is that really the face of a child or a shoddy photo edit? Are you being filmed as part of a reality TV show? A bit of stomach acid and the last bite of lunch slowly but surely make their way up into the back of your mouth. I can bloody believe it, that was gruesome. You throw up into the drawer of your desk or swallow it. You can't be throwing up into your desk in the middle of a meeting, can you? Swallow it down. Not for the first time. With narrow eyes, you swallow the bile and involuntarily pull a face. Dahlia continues to look at you hopefully. She obviously didn't notice your little mishap. That was close and could have been unpleasant. I'm so desperate, her eyes lock with yours. Don't you think there's something strange about your child? Nah, I can't say that. Ask more questions about her case. And just because she's, ugly as a bucket of frogs, it's not her fault, is it? It makes it more, easy to find somebody like that, you would have thought. Dahlia nervously combs her hands through her hair. Does your daughter have any friends, yo-yos? What about her father? Right, friends. Does your daughter have any friends she might be staying with? Classmates, sports club members, anything like that? Dahlia silently shakes her head. Very strange. You're about to ask if the girl at least had imaginary friends, but you hold back. What about father? What about Tabitha's father? Are you separated? Often children reappear with family members. Dahlia smiles sadly. My little one can't swim well enough for that yet. Your pen remains on the same spot on the notepad. What was that supposed to mean? Dig deeper. Excuse me, but you're struggling to find the right words to respond to such a cryptic statement. What the hell do you mean by that? The kid can't swim enough. Dahlia turns up her nose. She doesn't seem comfortable with you asking personal questions. Still, she responds. Oh, just an old saying in our village, she smiles, but it doesn't reach her eyes. Dahlia turns her gaze away from you and looks dreamily, no longingly out the window. Her father was a fisherman, like most in the village. A few years ago, he went out to sea but never returned. His boat was washed ashore weeks later. His colleagues told me that he had finally followed the call of the waves. You keep quiet for a moment. Deceased family members are always a sensitive subject. My sincere condolences. She seems calm. Oh, somehow I always knew that moment would come. I think my husband is in a better place now, and at some point I'll join him. You take a close look at Dahlia's outfit. Judging by her behaviour and clothes, you would never have taken her to be a fisherman's wife. Dahlia's financial situation not particularly relevant at the moment. More details of the case. Yo-yos? Hold on, yo-yos? Ring, ring. Can you hear that? It's a 90s calling though. I want their outdated toys back. Dahlia blushes. Normally you'll find this quite attractive, but the case of a missing girl beckons and you're utterly unconvinced by the way this woman pretends to be a mother. Confronts her. Something's fishy here. You ever noticed this sort of thing? That's why you became private investigator. Or to be more precise, that's why you took an online detective course that for a one-off fee provided the necessary qualification. It's time to take your visitor to task. Right, you look at her closely. Why did you come to me, or has your daughter really disappeared? Has your daughter really disappeared? You simply can't help questioning her further. Her story simply doesn't wash, although it's exactly what your instructor warned you about. You're sticking to your principles. Dahlia's mouth becomes even more pinched, something that you didn't think possible. I resent this insolence. Of course she's disappeared. What do you take me for? You stare at one another. The only sound in the room is the roar of the rush hour traffic creeping in through the window. Dahlia's face remains motionless, I see, and you have neither evidence nor arguments to back up your suspicions. She still seems angry, but she also seems desperate and dependent on your services. Ask more questions about the case, accept the case, or reject the case. Ask more questions. I've got no more questions. I've no further questions. You more to yourself than to her. Dahlia stretches her neck imperceptibly. No doubt she would like to take a look at your notebook. Your pen hovers over the notes you've taken. Missing daughter, dodgy lady. That's it. You've worked with less. You've got to accept the case. What happens if you reject it? Does the game just finish? Accept the case. You nod. A missing persons case. Nothing unusual. The conventional little girl runs away from home after reading her first romance novel. Usually they're hide at the edge of the forest or in the library. Should be pretty straightforward. Which of course means it's not going to be. Before you can say anything, she drops a photo of the child and a roll of bills on your desk for your expenses. You nod slowly, trying not to draw down the front of your shirt. You haven't seen this much money in ages. You don't have much time to prepare. A quick search reveals that only one bus goes to Innsmouth, and only once a day. A pattern emerges in your research. A few news items related to this little coastal town, all about missing persons. In addition, you find some rather old-fashioned articles that praise the coastal town as a secret holiday destination. The best fish, untouched beach promenade, authentic fishing people, the recurring buzzwords. Dahlia has given you the address at which you're supposed to drop off her daughter as soon as you find her. She also wrote down her phone number on the child's photo. You take another look at the picture before you pack your things. Next morning you travel by bus by hitchhiking. You've got a load of bloody money for expensive. Don't be a tight ass. Get the bus. So I take it that was the end of the first chapter. About another 25 minutes. Yeah, I should get another chapter done easy, shouldn't I? Right, Boston bus station. Your journey begins at a busy bus station. There is supposed to be a bus line that departs from here to Innsmouth. Buses, you think to yourself, are not only an environmentally friendly means of transportation, but also easy on your wallet. Sadly, the departure boards aren't of much help. New York, Maine, Rhode Island, no trace of Innsmouth as a destination. You wander around for a while until you notice a cleaner eating a sandwich on the side of one of the vending machines. He's eating a sandwich, he's on the side of the vending machine. That's strange. You look around, talk to the cleaner, or continue searching on your own. Excuse me, where can I find the bus to Inns? Without letting go of his sandwich, the cleaner points to an abandoned counter in the dingiest corner that a public bus station could be capable of. The man gives you a nod, indicating that anything that can be said has indeed been said. You find that the counter is elaborately decorated with cobwebs. It's a bit early for Halloween preparations, but at least someone made an effort. At the moment, nobody seems to be here. You press your face against a plastic window to peer into the room behind. Hello? Hello, is anybody there? I have to go to Innsmouth. No one there. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a bus ticket appears on the counter. Might the trip be free? Should you leave a payment? Leave a donation or take the ticket. Leave a donation. You're a staunch defender of the law. It goes without saying that you pay. You put a few coins in the bowl underneath the foggy glass window. Hopefully they won't be stolen by the next passenger. Even if someone was sitting behind the counter, you wouldn't be able to see him. It's just too dark. You are distracted for a few seconds, and suddenly there's some change on the counter. What's that in amongst the coins? A small golden fishing hook? How strange. Where's this bus hiding? In between the polished greyhounds and travellers stowing their luggage, saying goodbye and dropping tidily into their seats, there's a kind of dumpster. A dumpster with windows and wheels. No, it's actually a bus. It's a bit on the rusty side, and even from distance you can sense a strange smell it emits. Is that sulphur? You're not convinced how this thing is supposed to drive. In its vicinity, everything is noticeably quieter than at the other bus stops. The people getting on show no sign of emotion. Nobody's trying to jump the queue here. Instead, the passengers move past the bus driver at a uniform speed, one after the other, shuffling up the creaking steps. Each two-seater bench is occupied by individuals, as if they want to make sure not to come into contact with their fellow passengers. The sign clearly says Innsmouth. No departure times, no stopovers, just Innsmouth. On the bus. Undecided, you're standing on the stairs of the bus. Talk to the driver, show your ticket, or sneak past in silence. I'm going to show him the ticket. You hand the driver the ticket, no reaction. At least you can't make out a reaction. The lighting is poor, and the shadow of his dusty driver's cap covers almost his entire face. You notice something strange on his neck, but you can't quite make out what it might be. You're standing in the door waiting for an okay, a nod, anything. The sulphur odour is increased, a queue has formed behind you, but no one is pushing or complaining. The people wait quietly and patiently. Get out of here, say something, just keep walking. Just keep walking, you've shown him your ticket. You shuffle sideways through the centre aisle. You don't remember the bus looking this long from the outside. You're surrounded by shabby two-seater benches, and some are already occupied. One traveller per row. The last bench is free. Looks like the upholstery's torn in some places though, or has it been slit open? You can see springs with sharp wire edges and some sticky liquid seems to have leaked onto the floor. Why didn't you just sit back down in one of the 3 rows? Here in the back, almost everything is occupied. Most of the passengers seem to have purposely sat down in the aisle seats, blocking off the window seats. Maybe this is an opportunity to get a little closer to the common Innsmouth visitors. You graze across the row of seats. Now I'm going to go to the rear. Go to the rear bench. You've always been the cool outsider. At least that's what you like to tell yourself. So you take the back row, which you've all for yourself. The ride won't take that long, will it? You wish you'd paid a little more attention to the map. The smell of sulphur rises into your nose again. You try to sit down carefully without turning your clothes on the wire springs of the seat cushion. Suddenly a jolt. You can't balance, and you are pressed into your seat by the most mysterious of all invisible forces, gravity. The bus starts without any warning. Because of the abrupt start, a bunch of yellowed paper has rolled across the dirty floor right in front of your feet. You pick it up. Look at that, a newspaper. Innsmouth Illustrated, from April last year. Well, read newspaper. Or spread the newspaper on the seats, don't it? Read it. According to a faded sticker, the subscriber of the newspaper was a certain C.G. Young. The Innsmouth Illustrated, Carl Young, I presume. The Innsmouth Illustrated actually offers a lot of entertaining articles. All these features and listicles give the impression that at the end of this trip you'll find yourself in an adorable, up-and-coming tourist metropolis. A real insider tip. It's going to be extra told. Well, read some more or put some other newspaper. Some more information and knowledge are important. You decide to read every damn article in this paper. Preparation is everything, as you know, and apart from that, you're bored to death. You find out that Innsmouth has a boardwalk and that even a beach bar was opened last year. Finally, you discover the crossword puzzle, which turns out to be quite difficult. Quite a lot of fish-related terms. See you later. What? Yep, you've got that one. We get stuck on making pastries, but with H or toll road. That's too difficult for you at the moment. You throw the newspaper in the corner. Finally, your eyes close. The rest of the ride, you sleep peacefully. The bus leaves a country road and turns off to one sign that says Innsmouth in red flaky letters. The journey continues rather bumpily along a narrow dirt road littered with numerous potholes. In the distance, some houses are already visible. Seagulls circling the roofs of the outermost edge of the city. Slowly, all passengers take their bags out from under the seats and get ready. Curious, you look through the front window or the side window. The front window, you're at the back. You'd be better looking out the side, you can see something. That's odd. The bus passes by a huge, what is this, a scrapyard? Parking lot? Why would something like this be right here? Right outside the city? You pass another wooden sign whose half-peeling writing advertises the Innsmouth Park and Ride area. A lot of cars look like they've been sitting here for years. Sand covers some of the bonnets and windscreens. The front door of the bus opens with a squeak and you join the monotonous line of locals stepping out of the bus as if in a daze. Almost walking in step, you all get close to the exit. As you walk down the steps, you have to protect your eyes from the sunlight. Turns out the windows of the bus were tinted. The other passengers shuffle off. So that's the end of another chapter. So how are we doing for time? So it's been 25 minutes. Because I'm going to go out, I'll probably do one more chapter and I'll call it a day after that. Innsmouth town limits. Finally, Innsmouth. You examine your surroundings while you stretch your legs trying to unwind from the stressful journey. No artist could have adequately captured the serenity and beauty of this place. A clear blue sky lights up the town square, which is paved with bright limestone and surrounded by neo-colonial buildings reminiscent of 19th century New England. A fresh sea breeze, crying seagulls, and locals going about their business. In the centre of the square, water trickles from a fountain. As you stretch your limbs and breathe in the clean air, you're suddenly startled by the water feature right in front of you. The fountain is an enormous fish-like brass creature, an open jaw lined with shark-like fangs, spouts brackish water down its massive, inhumanly contorted body. As if that wasn't enough, there appears to be human bodies squirming underneath its massive claws. Their faces are as contorted as yours is right now. How long have you been standing here? Eyes wide open in shock, you feel utterly paralysed. You start to scan the town square and notice more and more disturbing details. On every corner you spot ornamental statues and reliefs of fish, but these are not your classic harmless kind of fish. These are pagan symbols and grimaces of supernatural creatures from the darkest crevasses of the deep sea. In surrounding houses, you can see faces pressed against windows. All the locals appear to be watching you. You suddenly start to think that the cries of the seagulls sound particularly human-like. They sound like humans crying out in pain. What happened to the idyllic scene from a few moments ago? Innsmouth town limits. Welcome to Innsmouth. Turn around or ignore. Man should turn around. Welcome to Innsmouth. How nice of you to visit. Jesus Christ, you're an ugly old bird. A small elderly woman waves at you from afar. She beams at you as if you were her long-lost grandchild. She seems very different to the bores you've met so far on the bus into town. Her squealing shakes you out of your nightmarish panic. It's so good to have you here. I've noticed you're very taken in by our local fountain. It was built in 1704 by Abdul Necrotis, favourite artist and friend of Charles Dexter Tillinghast, the founder of Innsmouth. The central figure was a present and it was supposed to commemorate their travels together to Cairo. You can clearly see the Egyptian influences in Necrotis' work, here and here. She points wildly in every direction, and here. But I'm sure you've already noticed this yourself. You look like someone who knows his way around art, she says with a wide smile. You're still in shock. She beams at you. Who the hell are you? Of course I'm an art historian. But I'm not an art historian, and who the hell are you? Oh, have I not introduced myself? I'm ever so sorry. She put in front of you now stands a small plump person in a tasteless costume. Your rudeness doesn't seem to curb her enthusiasm in the slightest. My name is Muriel Pooping Place. I'm Director of Parks Commission, Chief Tourism Officer, and Head of the Welcoming Committee. Ta-da! Behind Muriel, there's a ramshackle wooden information stand, lovely decorated with balloons. A colourful painted sign reads, "Welcome to Innsmouth." Muriel tiptoes over to an information stand and picks up a whole load of flyers and leaflets from the rickety display cases. She looks down at all the paper in her arms and briefly shrieks with laughter. My goodness, why don't they take this city map to begin with? Sorry, my goodness, why don't you take this city map to begin with? Useful, you take the map and put it into your coat pocket. Would you like to find out more about our wonderful town, which has been awarded the East Coast Stunning Town Award for several years in a row? And would you? Actually, I'm looking for someone. Sure, why not? Muriel claps her hands excitedly and squeals. She begins unfolding one of the maps and points at 3 different locations in the town. The town centre here should be the next stop on your trip. There's a lively up-and-coming shopping street in Innsmouth, and since May our local fountain has even had real running water. Muriel starts waving an index finger at you. I know what you're thinking, this town has been too showy for its own good. What, having real running water? Woo! But I can assure you we've all kept our feet on the ground, even after the whole thing with the East Coast Stunning Town Awards. Her finger now points to a different area on the map. The old town of Innsmouth is completely preserved. You'd think nothing was ever done to the facades of the old houses. Within 4 miles of here, you won't even find any new builds. Your face has unwillingly slipped into an expressionless mask due to the sheer boredom of it all. And then Muriel points to the coastal line on the map. The amazing beach promenade, a dreamy beach with a bar that serves you all the drinks your heart desires. I hope you brought enough stress with you, because at the beach pure relaxation awaits you. The small woman chortles, thank her or just leave. No, be polite. Thanks ever so much, ma'am. Muriel seems delighted. Nothing gives me more pleasure than ensuring visitors have a great time in our pretty little town. Will you be staying for a few nights? I can only recommend staying as long as you can. There's just so much to see. Trust me, by the end of your stay, you won't want to leave. How long are you going to stay? 1 week, only overnight. It's a short trip. Oh, what a shame. Muriel's enthusiasm quickly faded from her eyes, and she drops her hands, which are still holding the colourful flyers. I hope you find what you're looking for. Have a great time. Her eyes move past you and settle on a tourist family right behind you. Seemingly, at the flick of a switch, she's back to her gleeful demeanour, bouncing over to the family and waving her brochures. You head further into town along the cobbled road in the direction of the coast. Not long ago, the sun was bright in the sky, but already the first wafts of mist are creeping into the streets. The air feels thicker and the sun can no longer penetrate the fog. Time to think about where you want to go. You slow down, you lean your briefcase against the wall and start pacing up and down the quiet alleyway. You've got an important choice to make right now. The city centre is in the north. Even from afar you can see the outlines of the old and ornately decorated buildings in the main town square. Here you should find the police station, the main shopping street and of course the town hall. As a coastal town, Innsmouth also has a harbour. From your research you found out this is a bustling area with a dreamy beach. You expect there to be mostly tourists. According to your research, the only hotel in town, the Gilman Hotel, is located in the old town. You think about checking in. You could do with freshening up and getting rid of that buzz smell that's still clinging to your clothes. Just as you are about to set off, your heart leaps into your throat. You've forgotten your briefcase. This has never happened to you. You usually take good care of the little you possess. There's nothing you can do about this now. You'll have to wait until your return journey to find out whether someone has handed it in at the lost and found. Still, you could swear that the briefcase was already gone when you got off the bus. Didn't he say he'd put his briefcase down against the wall not long ago? You decide on the city centre, the Gilman Hotel or the harbour. Go and check in first. Gilman Hotel. How are we doing for time? 35 minutes. Right, I'm going to leave it at that, although it's a shorter episode than I normally like to do. But I've got to go out in 15 minutes. So, yeah, we'll have a short one to begin with. So I don't want to rush. Because obviously the more we get into it, there should be some, obviously more pertinent choices. So, my initial impressions, see where it goes. I didn't realise it was a text. Basically, it's a text adventure. But that's not necessarily a bad thing, you know, that can be good. It hasn't really got started, it's basically just a bit of an introduction, but we'll do the Gilman Hotel in the next part. I hope you've enjoyed it. Feel free to drop in and see the rest of it. I hope you have a great day. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Try a bit.